We welcome you to historic Dahlonega, Georgia, here at Bob Stein Stadium, where it's set home to a crucial Peach Belt Conference matchup between the Lander Bearcats and the University of North Georgia Nighthawks. We want to welcome you up to the broadcast booth. Devin Kupka alongside Alex Adams, and we mentioned it there. This is a big Peach Belt Conference matchup here, as these two teams are tied for the Peach Belt lead, along with Georgia College as well. They're tied at 8-1 in conference. It's Lander up top with a 20-7 overall record, then North Georgia in second, 8-1 in conference, 18-8 overall, and then you have Georgia College and State University also sitting at an 8-1 conference record and a 15-13 overall on the season. Alex, you know, this is one of those weekends where this could really determine and shake out who's going to finish at the top of the standings when it comes. Everything ends at the end of the season.
Yeah, with the PVC, you only have 3 matchups against the team each season. I know we already played Georgia College and State University, but that was a non-conference matchup. We played Georgia College and State University at the end of the season. But so this matchup with Lander, 3 matchups to decide who could potentially be either leading the Peach Belt, depending on what Georgia College does this weekend, or they could be tied with Georgia College as well. So just a really titanic matchup between 2 great teams.
Yeah, and overall, when you look at the Peach Belt Conference standings, you have a majority of the league here sitting at over 5 wins in conference on the year. So you have the three-headed monster up top at 8-1 with Lander, North Georgia, and Georgia College. And you got Flagler and Georgia Southwestern down there. But this is the first 3-game series between these two teams, and only 3-game series between these two teams that will be played this season. This being in Dahlonega. You'll take a look at the series history between these two programs. North Georgia 29-30 all-time against the Lander Bearcats, looking to pick up their first win against Lander since the 2023 Peach Belt Conference Tournament, and first win since Lander was last year back in 2023. So it's going to be a good matchup between these two programs. These are 2 of the best hitting teams in the Peach Belt Conference right now. As leading off for Lander is Taichi Nikau. Pierce Williams on the mound for North Georgia. First pitch from Williams goes outside for a ball.
Yeah, Pierce Williams, PBC Pitcher of the Week about a month ago, the week before February 3rd. He had a career high in strikeouts with 10. That came when he last pitched here in the Steiner 2 weeks ago against Claflin. Really become the ace after his injury last year. Kind of unfortunate for Tom Control, but nice to have him back in pitching for the Nighthawks.
He's currently sitting at a 1-2 count here in the top of the first. This one hit right up the middle and will drop in center field. And leadoff hitter Nikau gets a leadoff hit here in the top of the first.
Yeah, Nikau, one of the most dangerous hitters in this Lander lineup. Now a hit in 8 of the last 11 games, 6 multi-hit games in that span, and just extended his hitting streak to 6. Career best in average, slugging, triples, and on-base percentage. So really big threat at the top of this order.
Yeah, and one thing to look out for, Lander has 2 of the 3 best players in the Peach Belt when it comes to on-base percentage. Nikau there is 3rd in the Peach Belt.
Evan Wickery, not too shabby, 25th in the Peach Belt himself on on-base percentage. So this top of the Bears lineup really gets on base, really hits for average. Wickery hit in 8 of 11 games, 6 multi-hit games over that span.
Big off attempt over there at first. Stay at a 1-1 count, no outs. Top of the first. Evan Wickery, 359 average on the year so far. 42 hits. So the 1-1 from Williams. This one belted into right center field, and a catch will be made by Jorge Arispero.
Yeah, Arispero read that perfectly off the bat, got a great jump on it, and just smoothly glided underneath that ball for the first out.
Cal still over there at first. One out in the top of the first. Grant Sherrod up to bat now for the Bearcats. Sherrod, team leading .423 batting average, swings and misses at the first pitch from Williams.
Yeah, if Nicao isn't the most dangerous hitter on this Bearcats team, it's definitely Sherrod. First in average, third in OPS, first in hits. That's fifth in the nation. Very dangerous. Also, just for good measure, tied for fifth in home runs in the PBC.
And Nicao will get over to second. So no 2 count here for Grant Sherrod as Nicao takes second.
And Nicao only 4 steals on the year, but he's perfect in those 4 steals. He's 4 for 4. He really picks his spots well and chooses when to go and got there safely there.
CO2 here low. Nicao off the wild pitch will take third. So Lander already has a runner in scoring position with 1 out on the board.
Yeah, early trouble here for Pierce Williams. Really hasn't done a wild pitch much this year. It's only his 3rd one this year. He's really been in command of all his pitches.
So Brady Skipper here. Ball bounces to Skipper. He'll make the out at first. The throw to Philip Ard. But that's not without Lander putting their first run up on the board of the evening. So they take a 1-0 lead over North Georgia.
Productive out there by Sherrod. Just kind of hit it into the ground, have it skip straight up in the air. Brady Skipper can't do anything with it but get the force out at first.
It's Connor Droz up to bat now for the Bearcats. Droz batting .276 so far this season.
Average of 276, but the number I look at for Connor Droz, 20 walks on the season. That sounds high, but this Lander team also leads the PBC in walks, 160 of them so far this season.
North Georgia, if you remember, just about over a week ago, that home game against Young Harris, team that is known to get walked a lot throughout the year. North Georgia dropping both games to Young Harris this season. 1 on the road, 1 at home. So full count here for Droz. 2 outs on the board. And Droz will be walked to first off the full count. Garrett Chun now up to bat for Lander.
For Pierce, if there's one thing he has struggled with, it has been his walks. He has 18 on the season, 23rd in the PBC. Most everything else is sparkling. If he can keep the walks down low, he could have a really good outing tonight. Garrett Chun, 310 hitter, 27 hits on the season, 16 walks, 417 on base percentage. Also has been hit by 2 pitches and has 15 RBIs on the season.
So Connor Droz on at first for Lander. 2 outs, top of the first. 1 low for ball 2 here. It's 2-1 count.
Yeah, Williams trying to get them to offer at that slider, but they just aren't biting on it. They're waiting for something in the zone. They really have very good plate discipline, this Lander Bearcat team.
This one hit right between the first and second baseline, and the routine play there made at first base. So that'll bring an end to the top of the first inning. Lander jumping out to a 1-0 lead over North Georgia. We head to the bottom of the first, right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
At the heart of America's gold rush stands a beacon of leadership, tradition, and excellence. A university that has always led the way, forging an environment for broad-based academics, world-class athletics, and tomorrow's military leaders. The University of North Georgia. Learning and leadership, passion and preparation, transformation and tradition. We are the University of North Georgia.
Back with you here in the bottom of the first inning. Let's go over today's starting lineups for both of these two squads today. Jagger Jeffries on the mound for Lander. Over at first, Evan Wakari. Second, Taichi Nakao. Then at third, Zach Cowart. Shortstop, Cooper Backman. Left field is Ryan Hansen. Center field, Garrett Chun. And over there in right field, Grant Sherrod. Let's take a look at the batting lineup for this North Georgia offense today. Leading off, Andrew Zopata and Jake Prince, Philip Ard. And cleaning up, Riley Frost, Kyle Robish, Nicholas Stinson, Jorge Arispro, Brady Skipper, Bryson Stripling. And as you guys saw in the top of the first on the mound for North Georgia, Pierce Williams. It's going to be an interesting matchup today, Alex. These are two of the best teams in the Peach Belt Conference when it comes to hitting.
Oh, it definitely is. Lander has 16 games scored, scoring 7+ runs. They have a 14-2 record in those games. UNG, meanwhile, 19 out of 26 games, scoring over 7 runs. They have a 17-2 record. So if this game goes super high scoring, one of these two teams is going to have a L in that mark, probably.
North Georgia looking to pick up a crucial Peach Belt Conference series. We mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. It is kind of getting towards the middle stretch of in-season conference play. But North Georgia off to their best start since 2021. So so far, Andrews Opata stepping into the box. Opata's been nothing but spectacular for the Nighthawks this season.
Yeah, Opata, PBC Player of the Week. Just over a month ago, the week of February 10th through 16th. 2025 PBC preseason all-conference hitter. One or more hits in 7 of the past 10 games. 5 of those games were multi-hit games. Career best in average, slug percentage, and all-base percentage. He has been a force at the top of this North Georgia lineup.
So quickly at 0-2 count to Andrew Opata. Take a look more at the Lander pitcher here. 3.2 ERA on the season. Scored 41 strikeouts, second most on the team. It's Jagger Jeffries, the Friday starter for the Bearcats. So the 1-2 to Opata. Opata drills this one into center field. And he has a leadoff hit to begin this game.
Yeah, just more of the same from Opata, just getting on base. Usually it's Jace Bowen behind him. 9 out of 10 times they'll just keep going, them two. But Jake Prince now for Bowen. Bowen has a little bit of his stinger, so Jake Prince filling in for him tonight. Still very good hitter in himself. 30-13 average for Prince with 21 hits and 5 doubles, 9 walks as well. So if there's anyone we want filling in for Bowen, it's Jake Prince.
Prince working with Opada on first. No outs in the bottom of the first.
And I mean, Opada just puts so much pressure on the defense. Leading the PBC in steals with 15. He's 15 for 15, so really the pitcher has to pick his poison as to whether he wants to focus on Opada at first or focus on the hitter, Jake Prince, who...
Prince going to bunt this one down the first baseline. It's going to be fair the whole time, and he will be safe at first. So North Georgia, 2 runners on to the bottom of the first with no outs on the board.
Yeah, perfectly placed bunt there by Prince. The first baseman, Evan Wickery, had to stay put at first to try and get the force out, and Jagger Jeffries just couldn't get over to the ball in time. It was rolling it right down that first base line. If you're Jagger Jeffries, this is not the situation you want to be in with Philip Ard. 2 on, nobody out.
Philip Ard, one of the best batters in Division II this year.
Fifth in the PBC in average, first in OPS, tied for third in hits. That's tied for 19th in the nation, but first in the PBC, top 10 in the nation, and then first in the PBC in RBIs is tied for second in the nation.
Philip Ard getting the job done. Philip Ard, also the Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week this week.
Philip Ard already has a career high in RBIs, which is crazy when you think about they've only played 26 games so far this season.
Going into this weekend, the home run leader in the Peach Belt Conference, Philip Ard here. He's got Opada in scoring position. He's going to swing and miss at the 1-2 here and will strike out. Jagger Jeffries will pick up his first strikeout of the day.
Stepping up to bat, number 23.
Yeah, that is something you'll see from this Nighthawk lineup a little bit. If there's one weakness of this Nighthawk lineup, it is in their strikeouts. They're 7th in the PBC with the most strikeouts on the season. But if they get a hold of the ball, it's going in the outfield. Riley Frost batting now, 247 average, 22 hits. But what I look at is those 22 walks from Riley Frost.
Pitch there from Jagger Jeffries off the glove of Will McClellan. So Opada will run over to third. So 1 out. Runners on the corners for the Nighthawks here in the bottom of the first. The 1-1 here to Frost. He's going to bunt this one. Opada will come home. Out will be made at first, but North Georgia ties it in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, another perfectly placed bunt by Riley Frost, just right down the first base line. Jagger Jeffries couldn't get home and couldn't get to the ball in time, and the catcher McClellan had to stay at home to try and tag out Opada, but there was nothing. They weren't going to tag out Opada with his speed.
Jake Prince over there on second. 2 outs on the board. But North Georgia just tying things up with Lander. As we mentioned, could be a big back and forth affair all weekend here in Dahlonega. Robish gonna hit this one right up the middle. As Jake Prince gonna come home here, and North Georgia takes a 2-1 lead over Lander here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Robish hitting that thing right back where it came from. Jeffries jumped out of the way to avoid it hitting him, but that allowed Prince to score from second.
Stepping up to bat, number 37.
And they might have actually had to play at the plate if Jeffries lets it pass. It would have been close. Nonetheless, Prince scores, and the Nighthawks are up 2-1.
So now Nicholas Stinson stepping into the box. He's going to hit this one right between first and second. Routine play made at first, but North Georgia entering right back to Lander, taking a 2-1 lead over the Bearcats. So we head to the top of the second. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Today's second inning is presented by Zach.
No matter how you connect, ETC delivers fast, reliable internet and secure, powerful Wi-Fi choices for your home. For intense gaming, easy sharing, and buffer-free streaming on every device all at once. With local experts ready to help. Connect to faster internet. Connect to awesome Wi-Fi. Connect to now. Call or visit etcnow.com to upgrade your internet today.
Back here in Dahlonega, big Peach Belt Conference matchup series against North Georgia and Lander this weekend. It's game one of a 3-game series. Just joining us, North Georgia took a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the first. Lander, first team to strike, get something up on the board, and then North Georgia answered two runs of their own. And Alex, we've mentioned it throughout the broadcast so far today, but feels like could see a lot of these innings where you have the two teams answering right back to each other.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of back and forth action this weekend. Not sure you're going to see any run rules. I think you're going to see a lot of runs scored. It's going to be a lot of 9-8 type games. These two teams are very close in style. They score a lot of runs, and Lander has a little bit better at preventing runs, but UNG is no slouch in their own right.
Now batting number 1, Will McClellan.
So Will McClellan up to bat for Lander. Catcher, we mentioned him earlier in the bottom of the first. Dropping that one pitch from Jeffries. So first pitch from Williams for the top of the second goes for a strike. This is McClellan batting .286 overall in the year. Swings and misses at the second pitch from Williams. No balls, 2 strikes.
McClellan, .286 batter, 22 hits on the season. Another one in the Lander lineup that walks a ton, 22 walks. Also does strike out a lot, has 20 of them on the season.
So the 2-2 to McClellan. The cut will be loaded at 3-2. 3 hits for North Georgia, 1 for Lander. From the cow in the top of the first, but since then, she's yet to get one on here. So Pierce Williams strikes out the catcher, Will McClellan, for out 1.
Now batting number 46, Ryan Hansen.
So Ryan Hansen, the left fielder, up to bat. First strike from Williams to Hansen, goes for a strike.
Yeah, Ryan Hansen's started, now this is the 4th game started, .286 batting average, 6 hits, 3 walks on the season, 4 RBIs, so hasn't played much, but in his limited time playing, he has done pretty good to earn himself this start here on Friday night.
So he hits this one directly to Jake Prince, and he'll make the throw to Philip Ard over there at first for out number 2.
Yeah, Prince kind of low-throated Ard, but Ard with an amazing scoop to get the force out. Keep the sacks empty for Lander, and Cooper Backman stepping up to the plate.
So 0-1 here to Backman. Cooper Backman, he's the freshman out of Sarasota, Florida. Went to Riverview High School. Batting .286 so far in his first season in D2 baseball.
He had 9 walks, but it's been hit by a pitch 6 times, so really technically 15 if you count 4 pitch walks and hit by pitches together. It's a pretty good eye on this freshman.
Backman currently working with a 2-2 count. 2 outs in the top of the second. This one's going to fly out of play here. So the count will stay at 2-2. And Pierce Williams will clip Cooper Backman here as Backman will walk to first.
It's just what I just said. He's been hit 6 times. Now he's been hit 7. Just like clockwork.
Number 8, Zach Coward.
So rounding out the batting order, Zach Coward up to bat now. Working with 2 outs on the board. Runner on first. Going to hit this one right over the area. Brady Skipper will toss it to Philip Ard over there at first. And that'll bring us an end to the top of the second inning. We'll head to the bottom of the second. North Georgia up 2-1 over Lander.
No matter how you connect, ETC delivers fast, reliable internet and secure, powerful Wi-Fi choices for your home for intense gaming, easy sharing, and buffer-free streaming on every device all at once with local experts ready to help. Connect to faster internet. Connect to awesome Wi-Fi. Connect to now. Call or visit etcnow.com to upgrade your internet today.
Tonight's broadcast of the Nighthawk Sports Network is brought to you by Bryan Properties, the leader in commercial real estate along the Georgia 400 corridor and a proud sponsor of North Georgia Athletics. We're in the bottom of the second inning here in Dahlonega for this crucial Peach Belt Conference matchup between North Georgia and Lander. Jorge Arispro, the right fielder for the Nighthawks, up to bat.
Yeah, we're showing a little bit of a slump over the past few games. 1 hit over the last 5, but before that he had 6 of 7 with at least 1, including 4 with multiple hits. So, matter of time before he breaks out again, and then when he does, look out.
Yeah, looking for his first hit at home since the Claflin series 2 weeks ago. As you mentioned, there only 1 hit since then. That first game against USC Beaufort last week on Friday. He's 0 for 8 in his last appearance, his last 8 inside the box. He's going to sky this one into left center field, where catch will be made over there by Garrett Chun. Chun almost having to go back to the warning track to catch that one.
Yeah, if Reese Pro had hit that yesterday when the wind was absolutely gusting, then that might have been gone. But with the wind just kind of lightly blowing in, maybe a little bit out, it just kind of died out there on the warning track at the 390 sign.
Yeah, it's currently a beautiful day in Dahlonega. Skipper's up to bat now. We mentioned there the weather today. Beautiful day, around 60 degrees. It'll drop down to the mid-50s, the lower 50s by the end of this one tonight. Skipper showing bunt on the last 2 here. And he's going to be out at first.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird play that I'm not sure anyone knew what happened. I think everybody thought the ball went foul, and the umpire motioned that it was fair, and just unfortunate for Skipper there.
Yeah, so quick work for both North Georgia and Lander so far in this second inning of the game. So Bryson Stripling up to bat rounding out the batting order for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, at least 1 hit in 5 of the past 10 games, 2 multi-hit games. Also has at least a walk in 3 of the past 5 walks in that 5-game span.
Stripling will swing at the 0-1 quickly. 0-2 count for Stripling. Check swings at this one. It's for a ball.
Just able to hold a swing back on that slider. Almost bit, but good job by Stripling to hold off.
So that pitch there from Jeffries will even up the count at 2-2.
Fast one side almost clipped him on the elbow guard there.
That one low on the ground. That'll be a full count here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Bryson Stripling, 234 batters so far this season. 18 hits on the year. And this one is going to be lined out there into left field. As Bryson Stripling will pick up his first hit of the day. 4th hit of the day for North Georgia. Is now the leadoff hitter, Andrew Zopata, up to bat. And if you're a Lander, you're probably hoping that you would face him in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, turning over this lineup by Stripling getting a hit there is huge for this North Shore lineup, giving the opportunity for North Shore to put up a good inning here.
Drew's going to belt this one out into center field, and the catch will be made by Garrett Chun. And that'll bring an end to the 2nd inning. We head to the top of the 3rd. North Georgia, a 2-1 over Lander. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through.
The whole day, every day, we're thinking about one thing, Georgia's hearts. While you're busy being you, we're working to make Georgia Heart Institute Georgia's #1 heart program. One of only 2 programs in the state offering robotic heart surgery as an alternative to open heart surgery.
So whether you live in Atlanta or Athens, in the country or in town, the future of heart care is here for you today. We do it all because Georgia's hearts are always on our minds.
That old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Georgia Heart Institute.
Back with you here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. It's from the top of the third inning between Lander and North Georgia. Nighthawks up 2-1 over the Bearcats. And Alex, you mentioned it there towards the bottom of towards the end of the third inning. It's been an absolutely beautiful day here in Dahlonega. It's kind of a cold and cloudy day in North Georgia region yesterday. Warmed up. It's going to be in the 60s. We'll drop it down to the low 50s tonight.
Yeah, really, it was kind of cool this morning. It was, I think, 38 degrees when I left my house this morning. And warmed up to about 70, and now it's up here in the mountains. It's a little cooler, but still absolutely gorgeous day as the sun starts to go down over the terrace in the Steiner.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful weekend overall here in Dahlonega. 70 degrees and sunny tomorrow, and 75 and sunny on Sunday as well. So absolutely gorgeous weather for this three-game series between North Georgia and Lander. Leadoff hitter Tachi Nikau up to bat for Lander. And you have to go back. The last time he was held without a hit, already recorded one so far in this game for the lone hit for the Bearcats. You have to go back to Augusta. On March 9th was the last time he was held without a hit. But most of those games since then, he's had at least 2 hits. And then the lone game just a few days ago against Francis Marion went 1 for 4 at the plate.
Yeah, speaking of that Augusta series, they swept Augusta in the previous road series to get to that 8-1 mark. Both teams actually are 6-1 in the last 7. Both teams are on, UNG's on a 3-game win streak, Lander's on a 4-game win streak, so both teams are hitting their stride this kind of early mid-season point of the PBC conference matchups.
It's Williams a 3-1 to Nikau. Nikau will walk to first. Lander gets their first runner on base since the first inning.
Back up to bat, number 9, Evan Wicker.
That's Nikau's 29th walk of the season. He now leads the Peach Belt Conference in walks, and he is now third all by himself in the nation in walks. What, just an unbelievable eye for Nikau.
Yeah, you look through Nikau's stat line throughout the season, and very, very, very impressive. I think he's been Mr. Consistent for the Bearcats so far this season. So now Evan Wickery in the box for Lander here. Working with pretty much the same situation he had in the top of the first.
Yeah, Wicker, one of their better hitters, second in average. And then 11 walks with a 421 on base percentage. So this top of the Lander lineup is very threatening if you allow base runners like they have been doing this early part of the season.
So Carey in a 1-1 count right now. Carey going to fly this one out into center field. Andrew Zopata there for the routine play for out 1.
Yeah, just kind of carried there on Wicker. He just kept carrying out to center field. It never did die like we've seen it happen a few times over the years here at the Steiner, it just kept carrying, and Drew was able to make the routine play sliding to the right.
Pick-off attempt over there at first to Nikau. The series really has been back and forth. When you look through the historical matchups between these two teams, North Georgia down a game against Lander right now. Nikau will steal second. As Lander's now got a runner in scoring position in the top of the third.
Yeah, after having 3 coming into the day, Nikau now has 2 this game. He now has 2 this game, so he's kind of found something in Pierce Williams' delivery that he can jump on.
So Nikau over there second. One out in the top of the third. It's kind of like having a similar situation you had in the top of the first. You had a leadoff hit by Nikau, and then to begin the third, also getting another leadoff hit, or excuse me, a walk to first from Nikau.
Yeah, as we said earlier when Sherrod came up in the first inning, one of those dangerous hitters in this Lander lineup, only been held without a hit in 4 games this season. 7 multi-hit games over the last 10 games and 6 RBIs in the last 3. Just absolutely dangerous hitter hitting third in this Lander lineup.
And Grant Sherrod will be walked to first base. So 2 runners on for Lander. There's going to be Tom Cantrell. Going to go talk to Pierce Williams at the mound. So we have a early mound meeting here in the top of the third inning. Nobody warming up in the bullpen for either team thus far.
Yeah, this is just Cantrell. Pretty good meeting here by Cantrell. Just telling Williams, hey, calm down. Just make your pitches, make your throw strikes, and we'll be all fine, dandy. For Sherrod is now his 15th walk on the season. So pretty good eye with this entire Lander lineup as a whole. There's one thing that Nighthawks need to do this weekend. It's limit the walks from Lander, especially with 1 or 2 outs, because giving a good team like Lander just free base runners on 2 outs is not a recipe for success.
Droz will swing at the first pitch from Williams.
You fooled Droz with that slider there. I think he expected a fastball coming out of that mound meeting, and Williams just threw a slider that Droz swung right over.
Droz check swings at this one. It's called strike 2 here. Connor Droz, a senior out of Roebuck, South Carolina. Dorman High School. CO2 to Droz. Pitch high for ball 1 from Williams.
It looks like he overthrew that fastball a little bit, trying to really gun it in there, and he just kind of lost the grip on it, released it a little bit too early.
And Droz swings and misses at this one. As Pierce Williams records his 2nd strikeout of the evening here. 2 outs on the board. That was a big strikeout there for Pierce Williams.
Yeah, good piece of pitching there by Pierce Williams. Seeing something, obviously something in the scouting report that tells you that Droz likes to swing, so just giving him a healthy dose of sliders, having him swing over the top of it, seems to be the way that Pierce Williams has chosen to go early in this game.
Garrett Chun now up to bat, center fielder. Cal looking to steal third. That pitch low in the ground from Pierce Williams to Garrett Chun.
Chun, not a hitter you're going to strike out really at all. If you do, you might want to give yourself an award. Only 4 strikeouts on the season compared to 16 walks. One of the most disciplined hitters in this Lander lineup. Garrett Chun, also this being an RBI situation. Got to mention 5 out of his past 6 games, he has at least 1 RBI.
So now 1-2 count from Pierce Williams to Garrett Chun. Williams looking for another big strikeout here, put an end to the top of the third. Slender's got 2 runners on right now here on the top of the third.
Yeah, if Williams can get out of this inning and give some momentum to the Nighthawk lineup headed into the bottom of the third, that would do wonders for the Nighthawks.
So this one hit into the ground. We rolled foul. So we'll stay 1-2 here. Garrett Chun in his first at-bat today, grounded out. So the 1-2 here, hit into the ground. Riley Frost, the throw to Philip Ard, made on time in North Georgia, putting an end to the top of the third inning. We'll see what the Bats have in store for the Nighthawks as we head to the bottom of the third. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Back with you here on the Nighthawk Sports Network, bottom of the third inning. North Georgia up 2-1 over Lander. And kind of similar to how we started the top of the third inning. Lander's going to face Jake Prince, second batter in the lineup. Andrew Zapata batted at the very end of the second inning, and what could have seen top of the lineups in the third. So Jake Prince up to bat, 1 for 1 today for the shortstop.
Yeah, we'll see if the Nighthawk offense, seeing Jagger Jeffries for a second time through the order, we'll see how that turns out for Jeffries. Second time and potentially a third time through the order if it gets that far. But the Nighthawks scoring 2 runs in the first is pretty big for them because they're not really they don't really score a lot in the beginning stages of the game. They're more a late stage kind of six inning on type of offense.
You got Jake Prince and then Philip Ard on deck. You also see Riley Frost this inning as well for North Georgia. So that first pitch from Jeffries to Prince goes for a ball. So now 2 balls here to open up the bottom of the third.
Jake Prince, one of the one of two Nighthawks, Robish being the other, that are top 10 in the PBC in least strikeout. So these two, Prince and Robish, do not strike out a ton. They have a great feel for the strike zone. So we'll see if that affects how Jagger Jeffries attacks Prince here.
Jake Prince going to hit this one out into left shallow. This one drops, and Prince is 2 for 2 on the day. He's going to try and get to second, and he is ruled safe at second. So you begin the bottom of the third inning with a leadoff double from Jake Prince.
Pretty close bang-bang play there. I thought he was going to stay out first, but he turned on the Jets around first. Got to second. That's now his 6th double on the season. So he's starting to come into his own here, heading into the meat of the PBC schedule.
Now Philip Ard up to bat now. Philip Ard, 48 RB season, second most in the nation here. Prince in scoring position, so Ard looking to get his first hit of the day for North Georgia. Well, it could be a big at-bat for Ard here to potentially extend their lead over Lander.
Yeah, this would be a huge RBI. Getting on top of Lander early, making them play catch-up would just be phenomenal for this Nighthawk offense. For Jagger Jeffries, he really has to get out of this. Does not want to go down 3-1 against the Nighthawks and the potent offense that they have.
That pitch low from Jeffries there for a 1-1. Prince on second for the Nighthawks. Are going to belt this one deep into left field, and that one is out of here. A 2-run home run by Philip Ard puts North Georgia up 4-1 over Lander.
You give him an even 50 on RBIs, Devin. You just mentioned he had 48. I think he heard you up here. He wanted those 2 extra to get to 50. The ball went over that black fence out there in left field. That ball had to have been at least 360, 370 feet. Probably 102, 103 off the bat.
Yeah, and there's kind of a walkway. That's the outfield. There's like a big wall, and then there's a walkway, and it definitely got up there. So a 2-run home run by Philip Ard. Belted out of Bob Stein Stadium. Puts North Georgia up 4-1 in this big Peach Belt Conference matchup.
Going back into the last series they played against USC Beaufort, Philip Ard is now homered in 3 straight games. He is on an absolute heater right now.
Frost hits a high fly ball. Land out of play for foul. So 2-1 count for Riley Frost. So Philip Ard, it's been nothing but spectacular. Remember, he's the Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week. A lot of accolades for Ard this season, who stepped up big time on the Nighthawks this season.
He keeps this up, they might have to give him it for a second week in a row.
So Riley Frost grounds out here for that first out in the bottom of the third.
Back up to bat, number 34, Kyle Robish.
Just kind of hit that one off the end of the bat.
Robish 1 for 1 today. Got a hit in his first at-bat. And first pitch low from Jeffries.
Yeah, already this being the 27th game in, Robish career high in home runs and RBIs, so very good start to the season here for Robish. Also a career high in slug percentage.
Robish will get this one to drop in left field, so North Georgia racking on another hit here. So they get a runner on first One out on the board with Nicholas Stinson up to bat.
Yeah, I think that second time through the order, they've kind of seen Jagger Jeffries, what he throws, how hard he throws, his slider fastball combo, and just started teeing off on those pitches.
First pitch from Jeffries to Stinson goes for a strike.
Stinson also reckoning the accolades, two-time PBC Freshman of the Week, March 10th of this year and February 24th as well. Only 2 games this year with no hits, 16 out of 18 games played for Stinson, and then he has RBIs in 7 of his last 10, 3 multi-RBI games over that span.
So 0-2 to Stinson. Stinson's going to foul this one back. So North Georgia up 4-1 over the Bearcats here in the bottom of the third. So 0-2 to Stinson. This one we fell back again.
Kind of fouled it off the bottom of the bat. He almost fouled it off himself. Kind of lucky he didn't. It just kind of squirted out in between him and the catcher.
High pitch low and outside for ball 1. Kyle Robish on first for the Nighthawks.
Checking on Robish again. Not really a threat to steal. Doesn't have actually any stolen base this year, but just kind of want to keep him close so that he can't advance.
Stinson hits a high fly ball in the infield. Well, looks like Taichi Nakao comes up with the catch for out number 2. Jorge Arispero coming up to bat for the Nighthawks. Robish over there still at first.
Yeah, Arispero so far 18 hits on the season, 269 average with 12 walks on the season. So pretty good start to the season for him.
So Arispero quickly facing a 2-0 count here, 2 outs. Working with Robish on first.
Pretty good eye on those 2 pitches too. Just not offering it any of the pitches that Jeffries has done so far, including that pitch.
That third pitch from Jeffries nearly clipped Arispero.
He nearly got him on the shin guard.
The 3-0. That one going to be outside, so Arispero will walk to first. So 2 runners on for North Georgia with 2 outs on the board as Brady Skipper is coming up to bat.
Number 9, Brady Skipper.
Yeah, for Jeffries, that's his 20th walk of the season so far. Can't be giving this Nighthawk offense too many free passes, especially with 2 outs, or else trouble can find you in a hurry.
Brady Skipper looking for his first hit of the day. Kyle Robish at second, Jorge Rispro at first. 1-0 to Skipper. So it bounced off the dirt, so 2-0 count here.
Jeffries has kind of gotten a little bit wild here. He walks Rispro on 4 pitches, and now he's got Skipper in a 2-0 count. Kind of got to be careful if you're Jagger Jeffries here.
And that one finds the zone from Jeffries, so for strike one. So 2-1 count, 2 outs. Low in the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Skipper gonna sky this one high in the air. You got a couple Bearcats over on the right field line as they will make the catch for out number 3. A 2-run home run from Philip Ard puts North Georgia up 4-1 over Lander. We'll be back for the top of the 4th right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back with you here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. We are entering the top of the 4th inning. North Georgia up 4-1 over Lander. And coming from a 2-run inning in the bottom of the 1st, North Georgia answered to Lander's lone run in the top of the 1st, and then 2-run home run by Philip Ard gets us to this point. 4-1 lead for North Georgia. This could potentially really shake things up, Alex, throughout the Peach Belt Conference standings. 3 teams tied for first at 8-1. Lander, North Georgia, and Georgia College and State University.
Yeah, North Georgia's winning tonight, and upset alert, Flagler's beating Georgia College and State, so whoever wins this game tonight could potentially be leading the Peach Belt all by themselves come tomorrow morning.
So North Georgia, if they win this one, they'll improve to 9-1 on the season. Lander would fall to 8-2, and then Georgia College, if they fall to Flagler, they'll go down to 8-2. So North Georgia could have a clear advantage at the end of the night, but still got 2 games left, Saturday and Sunday. Will McClellan up to bat for Lander. Swings and misses at that 3rd pitch. Just for a 1-2 count, 1-2 from Pierce Williams. This one belted deep into left field, and that one is out of here. Will McClellan hits a solo home run to bring Lander back within 2 against North Georgia.
Yeah, if you're Pierce Williams, that's all right. You know, solo shot. There's nobody on base, so if you can keep Lander solo shots, then Pierce Williams should have a good day as long as nobody's on base. For Will McClellan, that's his 4th home run of the season, and for Pierce Williams, that's only his 2nd home run allowed. So he's done a phenomenal job this year of not only limiting hard contact, but limiting it in the air.
So Lander here in the top of the fourth, answering with a home run of their own. Just pull within 2 of North Georgia. Nighthawks are up 4-2. So ball 1 here from Williams. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs in the top of the fourth. This one drilled into right field. This is where Jorge Arispro will come up with the catch for out 1.
Yeah, Arispro just kind of shading back almost there in right field. Hit pretty much on a line straight behind him. All he had to do was take a few steps backwards, and pretty routine play there for Arispro.
Now Bob Stein Stadium is set up here. The sun sets pretty much towards the left batter's box. So if you're a right-handed hitter, you're almost kind of looking directly at the sun and to turn your head a little bit. But you got to imagine whoever's in the infield or the outfield has the advantage as their backs are facing the sun.
Yeah, speaking of that sunset, one of my favorite things about Bob Stein Stadium is watching the sunset over that terrace. One of the most beautiful sights that you'll see in D2 athletics.
So Cooper Backman in a 1-2 count. 1 out on the board.
Yeah, for Backman, he has been a little bit prone to strike out. 18 strikeouts in his 63 plate appearances.
Backman will foul this one. So the count will stay at 2-2 with 1 out on the board. So the 2-2 here to Backman. And Williams will get Backman to strike out here, and the 3rd strikeout of the day for Pierce Williams.
Make it 19 for Backman now. That, worked out pretty perfectly, Devin.
So now Pierce Williams facing the bottom of the batting lineup for against Lander here with Zach Coert. Coert gets this one right up to the shortstop for out number 3. A solo home run here from the Lander Bearcats pulls them within 2 of North Georgia. Nighthawks up 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Heart of America's Gold Rush stands a beacon of leadership, tradition, and excellence. A university that has always led the way, forging an environment for broad-based academics, world-class athletics, and tomorrow's military leaders. The University of North Georgia. Learning and leadership, passion and preparation, transformation and tradition. We are the University of North Georgia.
Dahlonega Resort and Vineyard is a quick drive from Atlanta, but a world apart from the noise and sprawl. Escape to the North Georgia mountains for your next weekend adventure, or book your next corporate outing at Dahlonega Resort and Vineyard today. This weekend, Alex, with the weather You're supposed to be up here in Dahlonega. It would be a perfect weekend for an outing like that.
Yeah, beautiful weather up here in Dahlonega. Going out to Dahlonega, where we have obviously the gold mines about 5 or 10 minutes behind us, and then we also come see the campus. I mean, the mountains up in Dahlonega, and Blairsville just about 30 minutes away. Come to the North Georgia mountains, beautiful.
Dahlonega known as the foothill to the Blue Ridge Mountains. So North Georgia up 4-2 over Lander right now. Bryson Stripling up to bat. Due up this inning, so we'll see Stripling, Opata, and Jake Prince.
It's going to be interesting to see North Georgia already having put 2 runs up the second run through the order on Jeffries. See what they do the third time through the order against Jeffries. We'll see how long Lander elects to keep him in.
So that 4th pitch there from Jagger Jeffries, called strike.
I'm not sure Stripling. I don't think Stripling agrees, and as a catcher, he probably has some feel of what this umpire strike zone is. So
Jagger Jeffries, the first 3 pitches to Stripling were balls. He's been able to work out of that a little bit, throwing 2 strikes here to load up the count. So the 3-2 from Jeffries to Stripling. Stripling going to hit this one into left field. And Bryson Stripling will get on base with Andrew Opata up to bat now.
Stripling hit the ball just underneath the outstretched arm of Zach Covert. Dove, landed on his stomach, and came up with just the clay of Bob Stein Stadium.
So Opata, dangerous batter to have in the box with runners on base. Opata's going to drill this one foul. And that ball launched off his bat.
Came off like a missile. I think it went over there and hit Coleman Fieldhouse and might have taken off a brick or 2.
Opata going to foul this one into the turf. So quickly an 0-2 count for Andrew Opata, the junior out of Lawrenceville.
Foul it off himself, more like. There's one thing that Drews has done this season. He is prone to strike out. He has 23 of them so far this season. So if there's one way to attack Opata, it is through that strikeout. But if he gets it in play, he's likely getting a hit.
Opata hits this one into the dirt. The throw made by Cooper Backman. Not going to be there on time to Evan Wicary. So 2 runners on for North Georgia.
With Opata's speed, Zach Covert really had no chance how slow that ball went and how high it bounced off the infield.
He's now going to be meeting at the mound here for Lander. Jason Burke going out there to go talk to Jagger Jeffries. Don't see anybody warming up in the bullpen for Lander.
Jason Burke, the second winningest coach in Lander history. Been there. This is the 9th season, 173 wins, second to only Kermit Smith. But as far as conference wins, he only needs 5 more to pass Kermit for the most conference wins in Lander history.
Jason Burke entering his 9th season with the Bearcats this year.
Back up to bat, number 33, Jake Prince.
Excuse me, this would be his 10th season, or his 9th season with Lander.
Prince coming back up to bat, 2 for 2 already on the day. Another hit here could score Stripling or potentially put the bases loaded for Mr. Home Run himself, Phil Ard.
He's going to bunt this one pretty high up in the air. Jagger Jeffries coming off the mound to go make the catch on the third baseline for out number 1.
Yeah, kind of got the ball off the top of the bat. That's what made it sky so high in the air, and Jagger Jeffries kind of had a relatively easy play there. Kind of looked like a center fielder there charging off the mound.
So that first pitch from Jeffries goes off the bat of Ard. Last at bat, 2-run home run by Philip Ard. Get North Georgia its fourth, up to 4 runs on the day.
Yeah, Jeffries' perfect placement on that slider, low and away outside the zone.
Pitch low in the ground by Jagger Jeffries, leaving up the count at 1. Philip Ard gonna belt this one deep into center field, and the catch will be made by Garrett Chun. As Bryson Stripling will advance to third, Opada will stay at first.
Ard just missed the barrel of the bat there. Looks like it might have gotten a little bit of the bottom of the bat, or else Ard might have another home run back-to-back at bats. As it stands, just a line out to center field. Stripling advances.
So now Riley Frost up to bat. Pickoff attempt over there at first.
Frost with his RBI in the first, with one of the Nighthawks' 2 RBIs in the first inning, extended his RBI streak to six games. He has 11 RBIs over these 6 games.
So we're going to be fouled back by Frost. And Frost 0 for 1 in his plate appearances today so far against Lander. Now Frost a .247 batting average on the year.
Yeah, but again, batting average does not tell the whole story most of the time. Riley Frost, 22 walks on the season, so so he's seeing the ball well. Just been kind of unlucky with where the ball's been getting.
That pitch low from Jeffries. So a 2-1 count for Riley Frost. Working with runners on the corners here. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. So North Georgia looks to extend their lead over Lander. That pitch high from Jeffries for a 3-1 count.
Yeah, for Jeff, this is not really where you want to be. About to walk Frost. That's not the. It's not the true issue. The true issue is giving North Georgia just extra free base runners, especially with 2 outs.
Check swing there, called strike for Riley Frost. So A loaded count here. 2 outs on the board, runners on the corners.
Yeah, Drews will be running on the pitch, so.
And Riley Frost will strike out here, and that'll bring an end to the 4th inning. North Georgia still leading Lander 4-2 as we head to the top of the 5th. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Welcome you back here to the Nighthawk Sports Network. Devin Kupka alongside Alex Adams here with you all weekend for this 3-game series between North Georgia and Lander in this big-time Peach Belt Conference matchup. These two teams are in a 3-way tie for a top of the Peach Belt Conference standings.
Yeah, Nickel leading off the inning. 2 plate appearances, 2 times on first. 1 hit, 1 walk. Also has 2 stolen bases to go along.
Getting that crucial point of the game here for North Georgia. Just settle in. Seen 2 multi-run innings for the Nighthawks so far in the bottom half of the frames. Pierce Williams throws the first strike after throwing 3 consecutive balls to the leadoff hitter, Taichi Nakao.
Yeah, Nakao thought that was ball 4. He'd already gotten rid of the bat before the umpire had called that a strike.
Nakao has got a hit and a walk so far today, and he's going to be walked for a second time. The leadoff hitter, Taichi Nakao, will walk to first.
You make it an even 30 on the season for Mr. Nakao. 30 walks on the season against only 9 strikeouts.
So Evan Wakiri up to bat now. It's Pierce Williams. This pitch to Evan Wakiri will be his 80th pitch of the evening. He's thrown 44 strikes, that being the 45th of the day from Pierce Williams on the 80th pitch.
Yeah, Wakiri 0 for 2 against Williams. Williams, really, if you look at the box score, 4 walks, 2 hits, so had traffic in most every inning, but has done a good job of buckling down when it counts and making the pitches he needs to.
And 3 strikeouts from Pierce Williams so far today. So 1-1 to Akiri. One's low for ball 2.
If anyone in this Lander lineup is going to ground into a double play. It is Evan Wakiri. He has 3 on the season so far, but with Nicau speed at first base, it'd have to be a pretty...
That throw there from Bryson Stripling to Brady Skipper there, not on time. Actually, Skipper missed the catch at second, and Nicau will take second.
Yeah, I'm not sure either Skipper or Prince knew that ball was coming, and it's kind of lucky for the Nighthawks that the ball didn't skip into center field. It kind of skipped off the base and just kind of died right behind it. For Nicau, that's coming in with 3 stolen bases. He's at 3 stolen bases for the game, so up to 6 after this one game. Which is all the more impressive considering Pierce Williams is a lefty.
Pierce Williams moves a dart to second as Nicau is looking to steal third. So the full count here, and we're going to be fouled into the ground, so we'll stay right on second here. Evan Wakiri still alive in the box.
Wakiri held hitless today, but second in this Bearcat lineup in hits, 42 on the season.
And this one going to be grounded into right field. Nicau going to come home for Lander. And Landers cut this one within 1 to North Georgia as the Bearcats get their 3rd run of the day. North Georgia only leading at 4-3 over the Bearcats.
A good piece of hitting there by Wakiri. Just hit it in between the second baseman and the shortstop, and with Nicau speed from second, scores easily. Wakiri now all alone in the PBC in 3rd place for hits. Also, as of yesterday, was tied for 19th in the nation in hits.
So now North Georgia sends some pitchers out into the bullpen to start warming up here. Matthew Hurd, one of them. We've seen him come in relief numerous times for the Nighthawks this season. This one be foul. So evens up the count at 1 here.
Yeah, lucky break for Williams and the Nighthawks. That ball looked like it was going to stay fair, and then it just tailed off behind the third base bag. Just a innocent foul ball.
Pierce Williams so far in the season averages most of his appearances and around 5 innings on the year. He has gone 6 2 times in the 7 appearances that he's had on the year. This one got to be fouled back by Grant Sherrard. So only 3 hits for the Lander Bearcats today. All of them eventually leading to runs.
Yeah, 3 hits isn't the problem you have so far for Pierce Williams. It's the 4 walks that have completely flipped your scorecard around.
And it's been a while since Pierce Williams has struck out a batter here. It's 3 strikeouts on the day, 4 walks for the Friday starter, Pierce Williams, for North Georgia. So the 1-2 here. That one just outside of leaving the count up at 2-2. Pickoff attempt over there at first. Evan McKeary on base for Lander.
Yeah, the last time Pierce Williams had more walks and strikeouts was actually last Friday at USC Buford. 6 walks in that game, only 4 strikeouts. 3 runs allowed, though. So,
and Evan McKeary is going to be caught stealing and will be out at second. So it's a first out on the board here, and it's a 2-2 count for Grant Sherrod. So North Georgia could get the second out in very quick manner.
Yeah.
So the 2-2 for Williams. That one is going to be a little low. It's going to load up the count at 3-2.
Yeah, I don't think Carey was expecting it to go behind him. Looked like he was trying to steal and then get back to first, but by the time he tried to get back, already had the ball, and he just had to commit to going to second.
And full count. Pierce Williams will get the strikeout here, picking up a much-needed 4th strikeout of the day as North Georgia in quick order gets 2 outs up on the board here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, Sherrod definitely did not like that pitch. You saw it on his face. He turned around towards the broadcast booth, gave us an O with his fist on his mouth. He really thought that ball was inside.
Connor Droz now up to bat. First pitch for Williams to Droz. Goes for a strike. Now that pitch low and away from Pierce Williams, evening up the count at 1.
Droz on the day, 1 walk and 1 strikeout against Pierce Williams. So
high fly ball by Connor Droz. See Philip Ard comes up and makes the catch. He makes the catch near the dugout, and that'll bring an end to the top of the 5th inning. Lander creeping in closer to North Georgia's lead as North Georgia only leads it by 1 heading into the bottom of the 5th. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back with you here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Sun just starting to set over the trees here at Bob Stein Stadium, so no more sunlight on the field as the lights have come on here at Bob Stein Stadium at Lynn Cottrell Park.
One of my favorite times here in Dahlonega. Watching these baseball games on Friday night, watching the sunset behind the terrace, an absolutely gorgeous sunset.
Jagger Jeffries still out there for Lander on the mound. Due up this inning for the Nighthawks, Kyle Robish, Nicholas Stinson, and Jorge Arispero. Robish perfect on the day, 2 for 2. Looking to keep that streak up at this at-bat. First pitch from Jagger Jeffries. Side to start the bottom of the 5th inning here. Temperatures are starting to cool here at Bob Stein Stadium.
Yeah, Robish seems to be heating up a little bit these past few games. Reached base in 9 of the past 10. 6 walks in the past 5 games, but none tonight so far.
So quickly a 3-1 count to Kyle Robish. That's the thing we kind of seen throughout this game is that both teams are able to get a base runner on pretty early in the inning. Now going to be a full count for Kyle Robish, called strike 2.
Yeah, Robish, like Sherrard last inning, did not like the call there. He thought it was a little bit low, a little bit outside.
And that one is just a little low, and Robish will walk to first. As you mentioned, the theme with the early base runners in these innings. Stand still here.
Yeah, whichever team, not only tonight but over the 3-game set, can get those early in the inning base runners, 1-0, 1 outs, potentially with 1 or 2 base runners, is really going to be the team that's going to be favored over this series.
First pitch to Stinson goes for a strike. Stinson's going to foul this one down the right field line. So no 2 count here.
Stinson 0 for 2 on the day. Ground out in a fly out. So still looking for his first hit of the evening.
This is Nicholas Stinson's coming off a 3-hit game against USC Beaufort. Started the weekend 0 for 7 at the plate. They went 1 for 5 and then 3 for 5 on Sunday for a rebound day. And so far in this one is 0 for 2.
It can be interesting for Stinson the rest of the season. He started off the season so well. See if pitchers are starting to adjust to him. See if he can make the necessary adjustments back.
1-2 to Stinson, and that one will hit him, and he will walk to first. So now 2 runners on for North Georgia, no outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now Jorge Arispro up to bat.
Up to bat, number 1, Jorge Arispro.
For Stinson, only the 2nd time he's been hit this year. And for Jeffries, his 4th hit batter this year. So it's just kind of got hit right square between the numbers.
And Arispro gonna bunt this one, and everybody will be safe. And Jagger Jeffries, I mean, look of astonishment on his face there. Thought potentially Arispro was out at first, but bases loaded with Brady Skipper up to bat here. North Georgia looking to do some damage on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Arispro not particularly known for his speed, but really booked it down the first base line to just beat the throw from Cowart there.
So 90th pitch from Jagger Jeffries is coming up here to Brady Skipper. Skipper's going to foul that one back. So both Pierce Williams and Jagger Jeffries getting really high up in that pitch count. But bases loaded, no outs for North Georgia. Bottom of the 5th inning, only up by 1.
Yeah, for Jeffries, he's used to being up here in pitches. 96 at Mount Olive and versus Chow, 98 versus Marcel, and then 111 about 3 weeks ago at Flagler, 99 last Friday. So he's really used to being up there in pitch count.
So the 1-1 here, check swing from Brady Skipper. So 2-1 count.
Just able to hold a swing back there with Skipper.
So the 2-1 here to Brady Skipper. Skipper swings and misses at this one. Will even up the count. Bases loaded. So you got Skipper in the box on deck. Get Bryson Stripling, and then the leadoff hitter Andrew Zapata.
Skipper thought that ball was going to be more in the zone and ended up being more out of it.
And that one will hit the foot of Brady Skipper. So Robish will come home, and North Georgia is back out to a 2-run advantage over Lander.
Back up to bat, number 2, Bryson Stripling.
Yeah, for Jeffrey, just his second hit batter this inning, his 5th of the season.
Well, it looks like the Bearcats will make a pitching change here, and we'll have that new pitcher for you right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. North Georgia up 5-3 over Lander. We'll be back right after this.
I pledge.
I
am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
On my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Back with you here on the Nighthawk Sports Network, and the first pitching change of the evening has been made, and Lander decided to switch to right-handed pitcher Joshua Sanchez. He's a redshirt sophomore out of Pembroke Pines, Florida. Attended the Elite Squad Academy down there in the Sunshine State. Take a look at his stats throughout the year. Only a few innings that only very few times that he's pitched over an inning here, but coming in a big situation here with working with bases loaded and no outs up on the board.
Yeah, 1.59 ERA, sparkling ERA from Mr. Sanchez, but also limits the hard contact. No doubles, no triples, and only 1 home run allowed. 8 appearances, 11.1 innings pitched. He has faced the Nighthawks before. He faced the Nighthawks last year, March 23rd, so almost exactly a year to date. He went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 walks, but no earned runs, and faced 4 batters.
It's Bryson Stripling here, no outs on the board, working the bases loaded. You have leadoff hitter Andrew Zapata on deck. First pitch from Sanchez. Stripling goes for a strike.
Stripling on the day, 2 for 2 so far.
Stripling gonna ground this one in the infield, and everybody will be safe as Nicholas Stinson comes home for North Georgia, and they're taking a 3-run lead over Lander.
Yeah, perfectly placed ball there by Stripling. Very super deep in the hole. Cooper Beckman tried to make a Derek Jeter type throw out there from the hole and just couldn't get it there in time as Stripling was running down the first base line.
This is probably a situation, if you're Lander, you did not want to face. You got the leadoff hitter and Andrew Zapata up to bat, 2 for 3 at the plate today with the bases loaded, no outs on the board.
Yeah, facing the top of this North Georgia lineup, bases loaded, no outs. Really, really tough for any pitcher, especially one just coming into the game. Potential for North Georgia to break this game wide open.
Andrew Zapata will swing and miss at the second pitch from Sanchez.
Yeah, full Drews right there. Threw him a slider curveball that just tailed away from him, coming to swing over the top of it.
So the 0-2. Pata hits this one into the ground. It's going to be ruled fair, but Joshua Sanchez doesn't pick up the ball in time. And once again, everybody will be safe, and another run comes home for North Georgia. So they take a 7-3 lead.
Back up to bat, number 33, Jake Prince.
So Pata having an interesting at-bat there. Joshua Sanchez having to come off the mound and then doesn't pick it up on time and allows the third run of the inning to be scored.
Yeah, looked like Apata had a swinging bunt there, which was not something you normally see, but worked out for the Nighthawks there.
So now North Georgia out to a 4-run lead over the Bearcats. So there's Jake Prince up to bat. Prince going to line this one down. Right field line for a foul ball. So 1-2 count here. And looks like Will McClellan going to go talk to Joshua Sanchez at the mound.
You want to be careful with Prince doing that. We saw him 2 weeks ago against Claflin. Similar situation, bases loaded. Hit one just down the right field line that he kept fair for a bases clearing triple. So want to be careful with Jake Prince here. But not too careful with Philip Art on deck.
So 1-2 count for Jake Prince. Bases loaded, no outs. If it's low in the ground for ball 2.
Yeah, it kind of seems like Sanchez is throwing it too hard. He's missed a lot of pitches to that glove side. As he does again.
Check swing here. Load up the count, 3-2. So no outs. Bases loaded. So then it's hit high in the air by Jake Prince out there into left field. Outmade by Ryan Hansen. And now Brady Skipper will come home, and he does. And North Georgia extends their lead 8-3 over Lander. Now Philip Ard up to bat. Working with 2 runners on. Opata still at first and Stripling at second. We see that bomb in the 3rd inning by Philip Ard.
Yeah, for Jake Prince, productive out there, hit it just deep enough for Brady Skipper to be able to come home. And for Jake Prince, his first sacrifice fly this season.
So 1-0 count now to Philip Ard. 2 runners on for North Georgia. Strike 1 called here. Philip Ard is mentioned the only hit on the day. Came from that 2-run bomb in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, bomb it was. If you didn't see it, it was towering fly ball out to left. And again, Sanchez just continues to run the ball on the glove side, making it really easy for these right-handed batters of the Nighthawks to see it go tailing away from them.
Philip Ard will foul this one back, even it up at 2. "12 hits for the Nighthawks so far today. Only 3 by Lander.
Yeah, what a response from the Nighthawks this inning. Lander had just crawled back into it. They down 4-3 headed into this inning. And the Nighthawks have put up 4 runs so far.
Joshua Sanchez records his first strikeout of the evening. And Philip Ard will head back to the dugout. And now 2 outs on the board for North Georgia. Riley Frost up to bat. You got 2 runners on. Still for the Nighthawks.
Frost on of the day. Sacrifice bunt led to an RBI and then a strikeout looking last time up.
And pitch low in the ground by Sanchez. Nobody advances here. The 1-1 to Frost. That one also just off the glove of Will McClellan.
One of the only fastballs we've seen from Sanchez so far this inning. He's thrown the Nighthawk hitters a healthy dose of sliders. But like the sliders, that fastball ended up in the opposite batter's box.
That one low for ball 3.
Frost can find a way to reach. Robish will come back up to the plate where he is perfect on the day, 2 for 2 with a walk.
Called strike 2 here.
Actually, with Riley Frost batting right now, the Nighthawks have batted around in this inning.
So full count. That one low, and the bases are loaded once again here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 outs on the board. Kyle Robish, you mentioned, perfect 2 for 2 on the day so far. Looking to add more to the score here with the bases loaded.
10th Nighthawk to come to the plate so far this inning.
Curves in there inside the zone for strike 1.
Yeah, that's what Sanchez seems to be trying to do, is get the curve slider coming in from behind the hitters into the strike zone, but
Robish will hit this one deep into left field, but it'll land in foul territory. So an 0-2 count for Kyle Robish.
Yeah, in on Robish's hands, but he still scorched that ball. Unfortunate for the Nighthawks that it went foul, or else you're looking at least 2 runs, if not 3.
So the 0-2, Robish hits this one into the ground, and the play will not be made at first. 2 runs will score here for the Nighthawks, as North Georgia now takes a 10-3 lead over Lander.
Yeah, Robish hit that one again, just kind of bounced it into the hole at shortstop, and Beckman had to hurry and get rid of it, and he ended up throwing it up the right field line, which allowed the second UNG run on that hit to score.
And we've seen a couple of times some fielding just not there in time for Lander today, which is really, Cal has North Georgia to really go up on the scoreboard this evening.
Yeah, it's been kind of almost unlucky for Lander where some of these balls have dropped. A lot of them in the hole at short or bunted down the line perfectly by North Georgia, which is, I mean, for North Georgia, it's kind of just more of the same what they've done all year is put perfectly placed bunts and hits right where fielders aren't.
And this one is going to be dropped down in center field by Nicholas Stinson. And another run will score for the Nighthawks as they take an 11-3 lead over Lander.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there by Stinson. Just hit it right back up the middle where it came from for Stinson. That's his 8th double on the season.
Number 1, Jorge Arisbro.
So North Georgia has had some offensive firepower here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 2 runners in scoring position for North Georgia. You have runner on 3rd and 2nd for the Nighthawks. So Arisbro's up to bat for a 2nd time this inning. One pitch from Sanchez. Low to Arisbro for ball 1.
First instance, this is 22nd RBI on the season.
So an 11-3 ball game right now for the Nighthawks, and Alex really couldn't ask for a better way to start the biggest 3-game series of the year so far.
No, this has been exactly what the Nighthawks want to get up on top of Lander and just keep chipping away. Eventually, as we head into these late innings, the Nighthawks offense will come to life as it has this 5th inning.
And 7 runs this inning out of this Nighthawks squad. So 1-2 count here for Jorge Arisbro. Arisbro's going to foul this one back.
Yeah, Arisbro 1 for 2 on the evening. 1 hit with a run scored in there and a walk. Had that 1 fly out.
Last time North Georgia scored 11 runs against Lander came in the last win against this Bearcat team in 2023. Arisbro will swing and miss here, and it'll bring an end to the 5th inning. A 7-run inning for the Nighthawks has North Georgia up 11-3 over Lander as we head to the top of the 6th inning. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
At the heart of America's gold rush stands a beacon of leadership, tradition, and excellence. A university that has always led the way, forging an environment for broad-based academics, world-class athletics, and tomorrow's military leaders. The University of North Georgia. Learning and leadership, passion and preparation, transformation and tradition. We are the University of North Georgia.
North Georgia makes their first pitching change of the inning, of the year, of the game. The junior out of Loganville, Georgia, Matthew Hurd, up on the mound for the Nighthawks. The 6'2" right-handed pitcher.
Yeah, Hurd has hit a bit of a rough patch recently. 10 runs allowed over the past 2 games. 14 in the past 4, but before that, he was pretty lights out. 4 straight games of no runs or earned runs. So just gotta, if you're Matthew Hurd, just gotta make your pitches here and just try not to walk anybody, because that's what Lander is feasting on right now, is the walks that were allowed by Pierce Williams tonight.
North Georgia looking to get some momentum going here on the defensive side of things. This has been all offensive. North Georgia exploded in the bottom of the fifth. 7 runs. Puts them up 11-3 over the Bearcats. You were mentioning there towards the end of the 5th inning, last time North Georgia scored at least 11 runs against this Bearcat team was 2 years ago in the Peach Belt Conference tournament where they beat Lander 11-5 in Young Harris.
Of course, for the Nighthawks this season, are we really surprised that they're once again led by the offense tonight, Devin?
No, not at all. This matchup features 2 of the best teams in the Peach Belt Conference when it comes to hitting on the year so far. This one going to be skied from Garrett Chun out into center field. Opata is having struggles tracking that one down, and a leadoff double by Garrett Chun.
Yeah, Opata looked like he originally had it tracking, but then he just lost it here in the lights up in the air. Just kind of lost track of the ball and landed pretty much right beside him.
Yeah, something you don't see too often from the junior center fielder Andrew Opata, especially normally out here now that the sun is down and behind the clouds here and the lights are really starting to take over. That first pitch from her to Will McClellan goes for a ball. So 13 hits for North Georgia, 4 hits for the Bearcats, that being the 4th of the day. Now Lander's coming off 2 consecutive innings of scoring a run, and they scored one in the top of the 4th and 5th as we're now in the 6th. But the deficit's a lot larger than it was in those 2 innings.
Yeah, let's see what Lander can do now that North Georgia has really taken the momentum back after that 7-run inning.
Someone's going to be fouled back here. So 2-1 count. So now 2-2 count.
For McClellan, 1 for 2 on the day, has a solo shot as well as a strikeout.
The 2-2 from Hurd to McClellan, and Hurd will record his first strikeout of the day, bringing us to out number 1 here in the top of the 6th inning. That's a big strikeout there for Hurd. She had that leadoff double by Garrett Chun to start off the 6th.
Yeah, pretty big pitch there from Hurd. If you're Hurd, you really don't want to walk anybody with a lead this big. Don't want to give Lander any free base runners. Force them to have to use their bats to get back in this game.
So the 0-1 just a little high there for ball 1.
Ryan Hansen 0 for 2 on the evening. He has a ground out and a fly out so far.
Ryan Hansen swings at the 3rd pitch here.
Ugly swing there by Hansen. Hurd completely fooled him with a curveball into the opposite batter's box, and Hansen just could not stop his swing. Swung about 4 seconds early.
So the 1-2 here. That one just upstairs. Even up the count of 2. Now the count will run full here for Matthew Hurd and Ryan Hansen. Hansen looking for his first hit of the day, 0 for 2 at the plate for the left fielder. This one's a high fly ball into right field. Jorge Rispero trying to go and track that one down, but it'll land foul.
He landed there pretty much in the UNG bullpen, and Rispero wisely held up. Didn't want to risk an injury out there, tripping over the bullpen at all. So wisely held up.
Still for Ryan Hansen. This one hit ground right up into the infield. Both runners will be safe here. Runners on the corners for Lander with only one out on the board. It's like a perfectly placed grounder there by Ryan Hansen.
Yeah, but what a play by Prince out there in shortstop. He probably should have held on to that ball just in case he threw it away, but what a stop there by Prince, saving a run. We've seen that exact same scenario with Lander many times tonight, and it's gone under their glove. So,
wild pitch here from Matthew Hurd will score a run for Lander. Lander's 4th run of the day. There's Garrett Chun coming home for the Bearcats. Now Tom Cantrell going to go talk to Matthew Hurd at the mound. Nobody's warming up in the bullpen for the Nighthawks yet, so probably just a quick talking to from Cantrell and to the infielders and Matthew Hurd.
Yeah, just trying to calm your pitcher down. You know, this is still a 7-run ball game, so just find the strike zone and pound it, and don't let the Lander hitters get a free pass to first. For her, that's a 2nd wild pitch of the season.
North Georgia, 7-run lead over Lander right now. So I'm going to be fouled back by Cooper Backman.
0 for 1 for Backman. He's strikeout looking and then a hit by pitch. So has reached base, but probably would like to not reach base by getting hit.
Strike 2 there from Hurd to Backman. Now low into the dirt will even up the count at 2. Now full count here for Backman. On deck for the Bearcats. He's got Zach Cowart. Only one out here, and this one going to be hit over in between 2nd and 3rd. Throw made to Philip Ard on time for out number 2. Ryan Hansen will advance to 3rd. Zach Cowart will be up to bat for the Bearcats.
Yeah, productive out there by Backman. Just hit it into the hole, hit it to Jake Prince, and move Hansen over to 3rd base. Hurd misses with that fastball. He kind of looked like he released it too early, actually. He actually missed in the arm side batter's box.
1-0 low from Hurd. So So quick 2-0 count. So the 2-0. That one inside the zone for strike one.
If you're hurt, you really want to get Cowart here and leave the top of this Lander lineup for the 7th inning. Don't want to face the top of the lineup with more than one with more than one runner on base.
It's twos across the board. The runner on third for Lander. So now the count will be loaded up. Matthew Hurd looking for a second strikeout. Or maybe a potential fly out to the outfield to put an end to the top of the 6th inning. So third consecutive inning. Lander has scored a run. This one hit right over to and thrown to Ard on time for out number 3. So bring an end to the top of the 6th. We head to the bottom of the frame. North Georgia leading 11-4. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Bearcats make another pitching change on the mound. Now pitching for the Bearcats, number 37, Nate Winterhalter, the freshman out of Venice, Florida.
Pretty good season so far in limited time pitching for Winterhalter. 5.2 innings pitched, 4 runs allowed look quite bad, but 3 of those came February 8th at Mount Olive. Since then, in about 4 innings pitching, he's only allowed 1 run, so really kind of belted down since that Mount Olive game has Winterhalter.
Yeah, and Lander looking to reestablish something here in the bottom half of the frame. Just allowed a 7-run inning in the 5th.
Feels like every time Lander has gotten any kind of momentum, the Nighthawks have just shut it down. Lander scores 1 in the 1st. Nighthawks score 2 in the bottom half of the inning, and then score 2 more in the 3rd, and then Lander scores 2 more in the 4th and 5th, and then the Nighthawks put up 7 in the 5th. So anytime Lander has any momentum, the Nighthawks have just snuffed it out pretty much immediately.
This one will be hit deep by Brady Skipper into center left field. Ryan Hansen comes up with the catch.
He gave it a ride, did Skipper, but pretty routine play there by Hansen. Just had to take a couple of steps to his right, and probably one of the easier catches that he'll have all series.
Stripling perfect 3 for 3 today for the catcher. North Georgia hitting that sweet spot of the lineup because you have Stripling, who's been perfect. Opata 3 hits on the day so far. Jake Prince 2 for 3.
Yeah, tripling one of 3 Nighthawks that is perfect under him, the aforementioned Opata, and Robish are all 3 for 3. Robish with a walk thrown in for good measure.
Stripling fouls this one back. 0-2 count for the catcher. Check swing by Stripling. Goes for ball 1.
For Stripling, this is his first 3-hit game of the season.
Stripling. It's a high fly ball out into left field. Ryan Hansen will make the play once again for out number 2.
Not only of the season, but it's the first of his career. So congrats to Stripling for first 3-hit game of the career.
Number 28, Andrew Sopata.
Yeah, you get a lot of credit to this Nighthawk squad. Stripling was perfect going into that at bat today, but making up 14 hits overall on the day for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, I think for being fair, you and I should take blame for Stripling not being perfect now because we just mentioned it. So
the typical announcer's jinx. That pitch low from Winterhalter. Opata evens the count up at 1. The 1-1. That one almost clipping Opata there for ball 2.
Actually, pardon us. Opata's actually not perfect. The previous hit that we had scored from was actually rolled in air by the pitcher.
So Opata 3 for 4 today. And what was a weird sequence of events. When he hit the ball, the pitcher had to come over there and just did not drop the ball. Opata skies this one high in the air. And the catch will be made for out 3. Led to the top of the 7th. North Georgia up 11-4 over Lander. We'll be back right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through.
The whole day, every day, we're thinking about one thing, Georgia's hearts. While you're busy being you, we're working to make Georgia Heart Institute Georgia's #1 heart program. One of only 2 programs in the state offering robotic heart surgery as an alternative to open heart surgery. So whether you live in Atlanta or Athens, in the country or in town, the future of heart care is here for you today. We do it all because Georgia's hearts are always on our minds.
That old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Georgia Heart Institute.
Back with you here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. We had in the top of the 7th inning, North Georgia up by 7 runs over Lander, 11-4. It's going to be a big matchup here. Game 1 of a crucial 3-game Peach Belt Conference series between these two teams. So we got a 3-way tie for first place. Georgia College currently down to Flagler 4-2. And the game has just gone final down there. So whoever wins this game will take clear possession of first place in the Peach Belt Conference.
Matthew Hurd back out there for a second inning of work. He let 1 run last inning, but other than that, he got out of the jam with the person on third pretty spectacularly. Devin, we were talking about it during the break, but how many times this game have we seen the ball hit to Brady Skipper, just flip it straight to Art for an out? I mean, it's probably been 10 or 12 times this game that that has happened. It's kind of unreal.
This one hit by Taichi Mikau out there. Mikau's been nothing but spectacular for the Bearcats today. The leadoff hitter picking up his second hit of the day. Getting a leadoff double.
The second hit of the day for Mikau, but the fifth time he's been on second base. He has 3 steals.
So that play there will be the single for Mikau.
He just rolled a single. Robish misplayed it out there and left. He bobbled the ball, and that's what allowed Mikau to get to second base.
So yeah, an error over there at left field. Advanced. Mikau was able to advance to second. So the 1-1 from Hurd to Evan Wakiri.
Wakiri 1 for 3 this game. Has an RBI as well as 2 flyouts. Has also been caught stealing on a weird play where Pierce Williams threw behind him and they got him out at second.
Yeah, and Wakiri will strike out here for out 1. Wakiri, one of the top 3 in the Peach Buck Conference entering this weekend in hits with 42 entering today's game.
Fifth strikeout on the year by Wakiri. He is a tough customer to strike out. So for Hurd, that should be a feather in his cap for striking out Wakiri there.
It's the 1-0 to Grant Sherrod. And we're talking there for a second, the hit leaders. Grant Sherrod, the hit leader going in to this weekend for the Peach Belt Conference, 47 hits on the season.
And not only the hit leader in the conference, but he is 5th in the nation in hits. So just an absolute hitting machine. He's also quite the imposing hitter, standing at 6'4" and 225.
And this one grounded right through the infield. And a run will come home for Lander as they close within 6 to North Georgia here. North Georgia now up only 11-5 over the Bearcats, and yet once again, Alex, is another inning and another run for Lander.
Yeah, just Lander continues to chip away, and if you're the Nighthawks, you really want to buckle down here. There's nobody warming in the pen, so this is Hurd's inning right now.
Now, Connor Droz up to bat for the Bearcats. Only 1 out on the board with a runner on first. Grant Sherrod, the hit leader in the Peach Belt Conference.
Droz 1 of 3. Well,
and that one will easily land into the glove of Andrew Zopata out there in dead center field for out 2.
He sounded good off the bat, but he just didn't get enough launch angle on that. Hit it straight out of Opata. As I was saying, Droz 1 of 3 Bearcats today so far without a hit. Him, Cooper Beckman, and Zach Coward, they are combined 0 for 8 at the plate.
That one's going to be rocketed out of play for a foul.
Softball was playing, watch out. That ball might have landed on the field down there.
So now an 0-2 count for Garrett Chun.
Garrett Chun 1 for 3 with a double and 2 ground outs.
He's going to swing and miss here. And Matthew Hurd picking up his 3rd strikeout to bring an end to the top half of the 7th inning. Head to the 7th inning stretch. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back with you here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Lander making another pitching change. Going to left-handed pitcher, number 34, Jackson Bryant. Graduate student out of Anderson, South Carolina. Making his 4th appearance of the season. Struck out 4 batters so far on the year. Just gave up no earned runs. We'll see what the graduate student out of Anderson, South Carolina can do.
Yeah, for Bryant, been pitching for Lander for a hot minute since 2020. Somehow this is only his 2nd appearance against North Georgia. That appearance, like Winhalter, coming almost a year to date last year, March 23rd of 2024. Did not log an inning, but allowed a run and walked 2 batters. So not too much prior. Not many people have seen this pitcher for North Georgia.
So a 1-1 count here for Jake Prince. That one low on the ground for ball 2.
Prince 2 for 3 with a double and an RBI. Also has 2 runs scored and also a sac fly. So pretty good day pretty good shift here tonight for Prince so far.
Jake Prince going to foul this one back. Count will stay even at 2-2. Prince 2 for 3 today. And that one almost clipped him there. So full count for Jake Prince. First batter that Jackson Bryant is facing tonight. He's going to go off the tip of the bat of Prince once again.
Looked like it might have clipped the umpire. He looked kind of hurt there for a second, so hope he's all right. Prince, as of yesterday, tied for 32nd in the PBC and average and 29th in OPS.
And Jake Prince will strike out here. The first batter of Jackson Bryant faces, gets him to strike out. Philip Ard now up to bat. Ard looking to make some magic happen here. 1 for 4 today, but a part of that being that 2-run home run earlier in the game.
Yeah, he crushed. If he missed it, he crushed that ball off to left, and left fielder Hanson gave it a look, but just completely way over his head.
So 2-0 count now, 1 out on the board. North Georgia has not gone more than 2 innings without scoring a run today. Still looking to get something after that 7-run inning in the bottom of the 5th.
Gonna be interesting if they can keep that going throughout the weekend. Keep the offense up, because Lander is going to keep the offense up as they have done, putting up 4 runs in each of the putting up 1 run in each of the past 4 innings. If you're the Nighthawks, you really want to get this lead back up, get some of the momentum back on your side.
And Philip Ard will walk to first here with 1 out on the board. It's Riley Frost. Philip Ard over there at first, and then Riley Frost now up to bat. It's one of 2 Nighthawks without a hit today. What has been a 13-hit day for the Nighthawks so far.
Frost does have a productive out, however, in the sacrifice bunt for an RBI, so not all has been lost for Riley Frost today. That's kind of what you don't see in the box score, is the sacrifice hits that the Nighthawks get, moving runners over, and just keep giving the bat to the next person.
So now 2-1 count here for Riley Frost. North Georgia looking to pick up their first win over Lander tonight since the 2023 season. Wild pitch there from Jackson Bryant. And Ard will not make his way on time to second base. Will be out. That'll be his second out of the inning.
Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate bounce there for Ard. It kicked completely off the bottom of the brakes here, right below us, and right back to McClellan, and Ard was dead to right to second.
Frost will ground this one. The throw to first will be made on time for out number 3. We head to the top of the 8th. North Georgia up 11-5. You're watching UNG Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Today's 8th inning is presented.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
On my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
North Georgia makes a call to the bullpen to begin the 8th inning here in Dahlonega. They go to the left-handed pitcher, the graduate student out of Gainesville, Georgia, number 3, Zach Green. Seen him come in a lot of closing situations so far this year, now throughout his career here at North Georgia. Made an appearance against USC Beaufort and Young Harris over the past week. So we'll see what he has in store if he can close out the rest of the game for North Georgia. So they're currently up 11-5 over Lander.
Yeah, you mentioned his previous appearances, and what a previous few appearances he's had. 3 straight games without a run allowed, exactly what you want out of a reliever. And that's not just 3 innings pitched in 3 games. No, that's 8.1 innings pitched. So he is a multi-inning reliever. And I think if Cantrell has his way, Zach Green will be the last pitcher he uses tonight.
Yeah, and right now, you look at the North Georgia bullpen, nobody out there. This one's going to be belted into center field, and it's going to go over the head of Brady Skipper. And Will McClellan picks up his second hit of the day.
Yeah, McClellan just able to muscle that ball over the head of Skipper, and Skipper had about 2 more inches in him. He would have caught that ball, but instead it landed in center field.
So now Ryan Hansen is up to bat. 1 for 3 today for the left fielder.
Yeah, Hansen has a hit, a ground out, and a fly out so far tonight. Looking to add to those hit totals if you're Lander and Ryan Hansen. Keep the pressure on the Nighthawks.
And this one going to land as well, so back-to-back hits for Lander to begin the top of the 8th inning.
Yeah, back-to-back, just kind of place it where they're not. Hansen just kind of in on his hands, really just squirts it in between Ard and Skipper, out in between first and second, and got it into right field.
Cooper Backman up to bat for Lander. Stripling will come out of his area. Prevent anybody from stealing, but 2 runners on for Lander here in the top of the 8th. Currently down 6 runs to North Georgia.
Yeah, Backman, as we mentioned earlier, one of 3 Lander hitters without a hit today. He does have a hit by pitch, so he has reached.
And this one hit over the direction of Brady Skipper. Brady Skipper drops this one, and the bases are loaded here in the top of the 8th with no outs on the board.
Yeah, unfortunate play there by Skipper. He tried to get it away to second base and just drop the ball.
Now Lander looks like they're making a sub and a pinch hitter here for Zach Cowart.
The normally sure-handed Skipper with the error there. That's only his 2nd error on the season.
You got to imagine North Georgia's probably want to get something done here as Taichi Nakao is on deck for the Bearcats. And right now the bases are loaded with no outs.
Yeah, I think if you're North Georgia, you're fine trading an out for a run, whether it comes a sac fly or a ground out to like your shortstop or your second baseman. But just getting that first out if you're Green, getting the confidence back up will be huge here for Green.
So Adam Love pinch hitting here. As you mentioned for Zach Cowart. Love going to hit this one down the third base line. And multiple runs are going to score for the Bearcats here. And they're going to go for 3. And he gets tacked out at home. But 2-run score here for Lander. As now North Georgia's lead is cut down to 4.
Yeah, Adam Love scorched that ball underneath the glove of Riley Frost. That was a very tough play for Frost to make. One that you would think he could make, but it was going to be tough, especially with the ball just coming straight at him, and just unfortunate here for Green, as it's kind of unraveled on him.
2 hits on the day for Tachi Nikal, the leadoff hitters, who's in the box right now for Lander. 2 hits, 2 walks on the day. Has had a pretty good day. And a lethal player for Lander. So North Georgia looking to make something happen here. They got 1 out. So 1-1 count to Nikal.
And if you're green, you kind of got to put that one behind you. You've made your pitches. They just haven't fallen in spots that you wish they would have. So just stick to the game plan if you're green and keep throwing strikes.
This one's sky high into center field. Opata having to track this one. And a run will score here as Nikal sacrifices that one. So now it's a 3-run ball game here in the top of the 8th. 11-8 with 2 outs up on the board.
Yeah, just good piece of hitting there by Nikal. Just gave it a ride to deep center field. Made sure Adam Love could score from third base.
This one's a high fly ball by Evan Wakiri. Pata tracking this one down to catch it in left center field, and that'll bring an end to the top of the 8th. A very quick top half of the frame where Lander scores 4 runs as North Georgia's lead is cut down to 2. We'll be back right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network for the bottom of the 8th inning. Back here in the bottom of the 8th inning, Lander making another change. Who's on the mound now? Right-handed pitcher number 7, Evan Demirius, is on the mound, the senior out of Miami, Florida, making his 6th appearance of the season. And it seems to have been a theme so far this game that Lander's been making all those inning substitutions. Every inning it's a new pitcher. But Lander working off some momentum right now, getting a 4-run inning for their 5th consecutive inning in a row that they've scored at least 1 run. Getting 4 runs, cutting North Georgia's lead down to 2.
Yeah, Lander scored the last 6 runs of the ball game. If you're the Nighthawks here, you really want to add about probably at least 1 or 2 insurance runs just to feel okay about this.
So due up for the Nighthawks this inning. So Kyle Robish, Nick Stenson, and Jorge Arispro all due up. Each of them have at least 1 hit. Robish 3 for 3 on the day for the left fielder.
Yeah, and Evan Demirius, in his career, he faced North Georgia back in 2023. Ironically enough, almost 2 years to the day. He faced them twice in that series on the 18th and 19th. Pitched 2 2/3 innings, 4 hits combined with 3 earned runs and 5 walks with 3 strikeouts. So the Nighthawks have seen him, but I'm not sure how many of these hitters have actually seen him.
So a 2-1 count for Kyle Robish here. Robish will low fly ball, but it'll be foul, so it'll even up the count at 2.
Kind of bounced off the batter's box and went super high. It just kind of jumped off the turf here.
So this Robish skies this one. Where Tayachi Nikau will catch that one for out one here in the bottom of the 8th. Nick Stenson, stud freshman here on this North Georgia squad this year.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, Nick Stenson, 2-time PBC Freshman of the Week. A couple weeks ago, earned it March 10th, 2025, and then about a month ago, February 24th, 2025. So Stenson's arrival in this UNG lineup has really lengthened the Nighthawk lineup.
Stinson hits this one, and he will be safe at first. Hit this one over in the direction of Cooper Backman, but throw not made there on time. So Stinson picking up his second hit of the day. Now Jorge Arispro up to bat for the Nighthawks.
And if you're Lander, I mean, you got to think, what baseball gods did you make mad for tonight's game? I mean, the Nighthawks have had a plethora of balls that have just been placed in between people, in between short and third, in between the pitcher and first base, and it's just been kind of unfortunate for Lander tonight in their fielding department that the balls have landed where they are.
And it looks like there's going to be a rule to balk here. The Stinson will advance to second. And now McClellan will go out there to talk to Demirius.
Balk, not something you see called often. For Demirius, is actually his second balk this season, so pretty interesting.
So that first pitch from Demirius goes for a strike. This is probably something you don't want to see if you're Lander right now. One out on the board, runner on second after a 4-run inning. So the momentum is going on Lander's side right now. So Riesbro will hit this one, lands in left center field. And Stinson gonna come home here, and he does. And North Georgia's lead is back out to 3 as they go over 12-8 over Lander.
Yeah, aggressive send there from Cantrell. Stinson hadn't even rounded third, and the left fielder had already had the ball, and he sent Stinson. So pretty aggressive there from Cantrell. It worked out, and North Georgia goes up by 4 runs.
Yeah, lead North Georgia out 12-8 over Lander. So it's back out to 4 runs now. Much needed at bat there for Riesboro. North Georgia put a run back up on the board. First run since that 7-run inning in the 5th.
Yeah, just needed from North Georgia, but as we said earlier in the broadcast, the Nighthawks in these late innings have usually found a way to get at least a few runs across and either lengthen the lead or try and crawl their way back into the game.
Brady Skipper foul rockets that one foul. It's 2-1. Skipper skies this one as well. This one's going to land into the glove of Grant Sherrod for out 2.
Going back to Ariespro's hit. He just got his second hit of the day with that hit. And with that, he got his first multi-hit game since March 5th of this year at West Florida. So about 16 days since Arispro has had a multi-hit game. So hopefully this is a sign of him coming out of that slump that he's been in.
And Arisboro will not be able to steal second here, and that'll bring an end to the 8th inning. We head to the 9th. North Georgia up 4 runs over Lander, leading him 12-8. We'll be back right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Top of the 9th inning here in Dahlonega in this big-time Peach Belt Conference matchup here. Winner of this game will take first place in the Peach Belt Conference. Just in game 1 of this series, as they were going into tonight, there were three teams tied for first place. Georgia College fell to Flagler. So now it's just duking it out between North Georgia and Lander. It's all three of those teams taking on 3-game series. North Georgia Lander playing this weekend, and then Georgia College and Flagler playing a 3-game series down there in St. Augustine.
Yeah, a bit of a big series here between North Georgia and Flagler, as whoever comes out on top of the series, if it's 2-1, then the winning team will have technically a 1.5 game lead, since these teams don't play again. So they'll effectively have a 2-game lead in the standings, and if a sweep happens, they'll have a 4-game lead in the standings over the losing team. So really big here if North Georgia can get this first win of the series.
This one's skied from Grant Sherrod out deep into left field, and that one is gone. The run streak continues for Lander. Had a run in every inning since the 4th. So as they cut down that lead down to 3 now. North Georgia up 12-9. Solo home run there by Grant Sherrod, one of the best batters in the Peach Belt Conference this year.
Yeah, Sherrod just lifted that ball up off the upper fence up there in left center field. And for Sherrod, he has now taken the team lead away. He was tied with Droz, who is up now for the team lead in home runs, but with that home run, he is now alone in the team lead for home runs.
Ties him third in the Peach Belt Conference with 7 home runs on the season. So Green to Droz quickly, an 0-2 count here. North Georgia looking to put an end to this one, take game 1 of a big 3-game series against Lander. That one low and away from Green for ball 1.
Yeah, for Green, only a 2nd home run allowed on the year, so he has done an excellent job at limiting the hard contact of batters.
This one's flown out into center field. Will drop right in front of Andrew Zopata, and Connor Droz will get over to first, and another runner on base for Lander. And the bounce momentum is continuing in Lander's favor.
Oh, it definitely is. Even though that run that North Georgia put up last inning looking massive right now, instead of a 2-run ball game, and the tying run and Chun up to the plate, it's a 3-run ball game.
Tom Cantrell going to talk to Zach Green. Looks like they're getting a pitcher started to warm up in the bullpen out there. So a quick meeting there at the mound between Tom Cantrell in the infield and Zach Green. So play will resume here. Garrett Chun 1 for 4 today for the center fielder for Lander.
It looks like out there in the bullpen is Ryan Taylor. He is quickly warming up, so if Chun reaches, I'm not sure how much longer Green's going to go.
That one right down the right field line will land on the foul territory side of things. So 0-1 here.
For North Georgia, that was almost trouble because we know as good as anyone with what Jake Prince did a couple weeks ago. That right field corner is a danger for anyone.
This one played over from Riley Frost to Philip Hard to pick up the first out of the top of the 9th inning. North Georgia looking to put Lander away with a 3-run lead right now.
And for Frost, that was anything but a routine play. You saw that ball skipping all over the infield. Riley Frost made the wise decision, throw it over the first, get the easy out over there. Catcher Will McCullahan up to bat. 2 for 4 on the night with an RBI. Also, well, that RBI was a solo shot. He also has 2 strikeouts, 1 looking.
Will McClellan. So one's across the board here.
He tried to hold back a swing, did well, but it just clipped a piece of his bat, so foul tip.
So an 0-2 count now. This one's skied high in the air. And this is going to be in the direction of Jake Prince. Prince will come up with the out, securing out number 2. So North Georgia 1 out away from getting their first win against Lander in 2 years.
Yeah, that ball hung up in the air for a minute. Jake Prince thought he had it pretty well measured out, but ended up almost landing behind him. So good job by Prince for being in that spot.
And first pitch from Green to Hansen goes for a ball. This one going to be grounded over here. Zach Green going to go over to first on time for out number 3. And North Georgia has beaten Lander for the first time in 2 years. As North Georgia now sits in sole possession of first place right now in the Peach Belt Conference.
Yeah, you saw the pure emotion on Zach Green's face as Philip Hard fielded it and tossed it to Green for the game-winning out. He spiked the ball as soon as he touched first base. He knew the game was over. He knows what this series means to North Georgia and for what this first game especially means.
So North Georgia taking game 1 moves them to 9-1 on the year in conference. Lander drops down to 8-2. So goes North Georgia at 9-1, Lander at 8-2, Georgia College at 8-2 on the year. But got a lot more in store for you guys this weekend on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Games 2 and 3 coming up. Game 2 at 2 o'clock right here from Bob Stein Stadium here at Lincoln Trail Park in Dahlonega, Georgia. Expected beautiful weather. Alex, North Georgia taking game 1 here. What do you expect to see the rest of the series?
Really more of the same of what we saw tonight. North Georgia taking a big lead in the game, and then Lander just continually chipping away. I expect that from both teams, really. You know, one team takes a huge lead, and then just the other team continually chips away. And tonight, North Georgia did just enough to seal away the win, and we'll see if that holds any momentum headed into the rest of the weekend.
North Georgia taking game 1 of a big 3-game series against Lander, 12-9. They take first place in the Peach Belt Conference standings. For Devin Kupka, Alex Adams saying good night, everybody, here from Dahlonega. Once again, North Georgia wins against Lander 12-9. We'll see you guys right here tomorrow at 2 p.m. right here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.